Welcome back to The Sims 3 A to Z. Today's video will cover the blog artist lifetime wish, which is described as follows. A successful blogger captivates their audience and leaves them yearning for the next post. It's not easy to combine witty observations and impeccable timing, but someone's got to keep the netizens entertained. The one who does will earn the title of blog artist. Reach level 10 in the social networking skill, and have a 5-star blog. Another grind fest. Let's get into it. So, starting off, you may notice that I'm currently working from home in my military career. This is because after I tried to save my game, the game just would not save. I left my computer running overnight in the hopes that it was just slow or something, but I came back to see that the game was still trying to save. I just restarted my PC after that, so that's why we're here now. Everything went too perfect last video, so we have to have another rough start for this one. But there's just the tiniest silver lining to this. After I'm done working from home, instead of going anywhere, I'm actually going to start texting on my phone. You see, given that I just described to you the next lifetime wish we need to do, I figured that it would be good to get a head start while we wait to finish becoming an astronaut. But first, we need to finish filling up our career performance progress bar. Once that's over, I send a single friendly text to the first person I know, and that grants me level 1 in the social networking skill. This allows us to start our blog and gets us to the meat of this challenge. Opening up the social networking tab in our smartphone can direct us to the blog app, which, upon opening, allows us to make our first blog. Right now, we only have the one blog type unlocked, being a personal blog, and we're encouraged to name our blog. Given that the stand-in name for this blog couldn't be farther away from our playstyle, I go ahead and name the blog Blogging About Blogging, because that's our main goal of starting a blog, just to blog. With our new blog set up, we can make a new post and gain our first 3 followers. This is a little overwhelming for us, and we become blogged out, which would debuff our posting abilities for the next 2 hours should we try to make another post and cause us to lose followers. However, because we have the single best item in the game, we can use the moodlet manager to cure us of our negative moodlet, and this will allow us to blog again most efficiently. After that, we make more posts until we have to cure ourselves again, and that's pretty much the entire run. Yep, what you see right now is the majority of what I did for most of this challenge. Almost every time after making a new blog post, I would get debuffed again, so I would cure myself of the debuff to make another post, and the cycle continued. We need to get 2,000 followers in order to have a 5-star blog, and seeing that we're running about maybe 10 or 15 followers per post on average, that means we're going to have to do this cycle around 200 times in order to complete this challenge. And there's nothing else for it. The only way to get followers, as far as I could tell, was to do this single action over and over and over. You're encouraged to do things out in the world with which then you could blog about and gain more followers that way, but the fact of the matter is that standing in place and curing yourself is so much more efficient than the potential follower boost you could get from one achievement. You'll see what I mean in a bit. For now, I kept going through this cycle, eventually reaching level 2 in social networking, of which we would need to max out. The benefits to higher social networking skills means that you have a higher maximum follower count for your posts. Additionally, you unlock skins for your phone, alongside some powerful apps down the line. Also, according to the wiki, if your sim has a certain trait per your blog type, you can get a small boost to followers as well. Because our sim is friendly right now, making posts on our personal blog grants us a +3 maximum to our posts. Anyways, after going through the phone cosmetics for fun, I do the same thing for the next 3 minutes until I'm level 3. This gives us a higher boost and more cosmetics, alongside another blog theme. 6 minutes of looping later, we get to level 4, which grants us access to the Sim Finder app. This tool will generate a sim for us of a specified gender, age, sign, and traits, which could potentially be powerful down the line. For now, though, this isn't a priority for me, so I get back to blogging and curing myself on repeat. Another 6 minutes later, we get to level 5, which allows us to start another new type of blog, alongside more skins. It kind of goes without saying that I'm not going to be doing this, primarily because we will lose followers should we change blog types. Given the fact that we need a huge amount of followers to complete this wish, this would actively impede our already tedious progress. So there's nothing much else to do but press on for the next level. We get maybe a quarter of the way there before it's time for work. Remember our job? That's still a thing. We go to work and walk out once more as an astronaut, fulfilling our lifetime wish and allowing us to move on to the blog artist lifetime wish. This time, as a small precaution I learned while troubleshooting my previous save, I decide to create a new save instead of overwriting the previous save, naming it as Timeline 3. This seems to work just fine, and we get to walk back to the library and continue our blogging loop. You know, now that we don't have another career wish immediately on our hands, we don't have to quit our job. While typically this could be seen as very impeding, the astronaut job is very unique, given that you only work for one day of the week. This is from 7 a.m. until 1 a.m. the following day, so that's still 18 hours gone, but it's only 18 hours. And you're left uninterrupted for the rest of the week. With this in mind, I think I'm going to maintain my job until I have to get a new one. If it actually gets to be bothersome, I can always call in for vacation anyways. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to do a little preparing. I make a blog post about my promotion, which only grants me 38 followers, or just under 2% of my goal of 2,000. And then I practice writing on the computer to give me one writing level. The wiki said that apparently, your maximum follower count per post is boosted by 10 if you have any writing skill at all. And while I have no idea if this was true, I get the writing skill anyways because it doesn't take me that long. After that, it's full focus on our blog. I start to blog until I get this inane opportunity for quite literally no benefit at all. I have 100% every other aspect of the athletic skill. All the levels and all the skill challenges, and they have the gall to call me and tell me to exercise more, with my reward being none? No way, sorry. Back to blogging. Is what I would have said, if there wasn't an on-screen death to interrupt me. Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't witness any in the last video. Oddly enough, someone up and dying in front of me is not noteworthy to post about in my personal blog. I blog about it anyways. My followers thought that post was okay. But me complaining about getting interrupted for autographs all the time was apparently an amazing post. Sure, whatever. A couple minutes later of more blogging, I'm granted level 6 and access to more phone skins. Nothing too exciting happens between level 6 and 7, except I get an average holiday bonus of over 32,000 simoleons. Average. Crazy stuff. It takes me about a dozen minutes to reach level 7, where I unlock the relationship transmogrifier, an absolutely broken tool that just allows you to edit the relationship between two Sims, just by bypassing social constructs entirely. It's crazy. At the moment, we can only make two Sims friends, so I test this by making myself friends with the Grim Reaper. He doesn't show up in my relationship feed, but I do get the moodlet for making a new friend, so I can only assume that it went through. Cool. And it's right back to blogging. It takes me another 7 minutes to get me to a 5-star blog, officially completing half of the challenge. Mind you, I practically did this all on the slowest possible time because I wanted to make sure the moodlet manager cured me right, and I didn't want to make posts with a debuff. But this was quite brain dead to complete. Not that The Sims is very intellectually challenging, but it teaches a lesson in patience, in load times, in fixing it, and in gameplay. Regardless, now that we've reached our 5-star blog, we're completely done making any posts at all. No more looping required. But Pinky, you might cry, you still need to get level 10 in social networking. How are you going to do that without blogging? Why, it's simple. I pay a flat fee of 750 simoleons for the level 3 social networking skill book. I think the devs might have gotten feedback during testing this new skill out that there really isn't a whole lot that goes into it, and leveling it up would be tedious at best. Similar to gardening and handiness skills. So graciously, we have the fastest option possible, which I did not pursue until I needed to, given the fact that we'd be accruing the skill along the way. I start to read my book at this feast party, granting level 8, new relationship settings, and new skins. And, after the party ends, I read the book at the library until I'm level 9, which also gives me more relationship settings and new skins. And, finally, level 10 arrives, firstly granting us our next lifetime wish, which looks like a bit of a doozy, and the final settings for the relationship transmogrifier and the final phone skins. And that's it. That's Blog Artist done and dusted. Fun fact, I voiced and edited the astronaut video all in one day, and then I went on to record, script, and voice this video all in the same day. This really did not take long at all, probably less time than the alchemy video. That said, I did enjoy it less than doing alchemy, but it also unlocked for us some very powerful tools I can see being a godsend down the line. For now though, I do a little preparation to buy some helpful traveling lifetime rewards, and I leave the game for next time. See you in France, everybody. Bye now.